Welcome back to part 2 of the PfSense router build. Today we're going to be melting down some aluminum, pouring it into the cast that we made in the last video, and we're going to find out, is this going to be an awesome turnout or an epic fail? Let's find out. Okay, so here's what's happened since the last time you guys saw this. Last time you guys saw this, we mixed up and poured the plaster and got all the air bubbles out, or at least as much as we could. Since then, I have added these little straws here. What these are for is for ventilation. When we go and we pour the aluminum in, the styrofoam's going to burn off. Plus, it's going to put off a lot of gases. So basically, what these are for, these are just to allow all those gases to escape. So that way, it doesn't build up inside and then, crack the casting on us. You remember from last time, I ran out of plaster, but I did manage to get it completely under the surface, which is good. And this right here is what I was telling you guys about. This is casting sand. Otherwise, some people know this as green sand. It's used for casting all kinds of things out of metal, like car parts, so, stuff for refrigerators and household stuff. Basically, what it is, it's a very fine clay. And it has things, it's a very fine sand, and it has the, like, clay, and this particular stuff has a whole bunch of other stuff, like magnesium and all kinds of other things, to make it heat resistant. And basically what it is, so that way when it's in there, and say it's all packed in, and you pour your aluminum in, this will stay just like this, and the aluminum will surround it. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this, and I'm going to be packing it all into here, so that way it builds up a nice layer on the top. So that way, if it breaks through, the plaster here, it's a very, very thin layer. You can actually see the edge of the case itself in here. So it's a very, very thin layer. So we're going to be packing that onto this. Basically, you pour it in, you dump it all in, you pack it down with like a piece of wood to make it nice and compact. And also it's going to give, like when we go, these are for pouring the aluminum. When we're going to be pouring the aluminum into here, it's going to go in, it's going to fill up where the case is, and it's going to start rising up out of, all of these other things. That's how we're going to know it's full. Plus it also needs a way of getting the aluminum in there. So once the sand is packed around it, and this styrofoam, vaporizes, the sand will hold, and there will still be a hole going down, so the aluminum can continue to pour in. So we're going to go ahead and do that now, and then we're going to go ahead and start melting the aluminum. Stay tuned. There it is, guys. All set. One of the things you'll notice is this little can here. I put that around one of the sprues, and I filled it up with sand, and I packed it all around the edges here, so now it's like a little bit of like a funnel to go ahead and pour it in. I also built up an edge all around the side here, so that way when the aluminum does start to come out the top, if I do pour too much, it won't. Basically, it's a barrier, so the aluminum won't pour over the edge. And as in the last one, I'm being an idiot. I'm using a cardboard box. Go dangerously. These things will be coming out. The ventilation straws, they will be coming out, but not yet. Obviously, I'm not doing this inside the house. You should never do something like this inside the house. There's a whole list of uh-ohs and oh-nos that could happen. And then you better have good insurance if you do. So we're doing this outside. I didn't want the risk of, accidentally poking at it or dropping something on it and then having one of these fill in. So we'll leave them in. We'll take them out when we get outside. It's not going to be very much talking from here on. So basically we're going to be doing just a bunch of little time lapses and all, every once in a while I'll show you what's going on. But let's head outside and melt some aluminum. Let's go. So that was fail number one. Let me show you what happened. For whatever reason, I'm not sure what happened here, but those the styrofoam sprues I had sticking out. It did go down into the sprue right here, but then it stopped. It didn't go any further than the sprue. It was supposed to come down, and then it was supposed to start spreading out through the whole case, down the sides, and then it was supposed to start coming back out the other side, you know, up here once it started to fill up. But for some reason it didn't go all, went down into the sprue and it just stopped right here. Not sure what happened. However, I did get kind of lucky when I pulled this out, and it just went down into the sprue. You can actually see right here where the hot glue was. And so when I pulled it off, the case itself was still there, and it had an empty cavity left behind. So there was still a good clean shot of pouring, you know, making a second pour. And luckily, I had enough aluminum left, enough scrap aluminum left over where I was able to melt down and make a second pour. So let's go to that and see what happened there. See if this works this time. And that was fail number 2. Let me show you that one here. This one is interesting. It's actually still got the can stuck in it. You see the whole can filled up with aluminum, and it was just bubbling out. So I thought that was the the styrofoam melting, and all the gases from it were just bubbling out. And it ended up, it spilled over, came out a little bit, and it spilled over. I tried pouring it down one of the vent holes just to see if it would go down into the vent hole. It did go down a little bit right here. But it ultimately, again, it only went down to the top of the case part. It didn't go all the way into the actual case. This is as deep as it went. It filled the entire can up, but then it stopped right here, just like the other one did. Right here, it stopped. Right at the end of the sprue, just like, same thing. So I have no idea what happened there. It's as if something was blocking it from actually getting to the styrofoam. Before I went and I poured it, I made sure, and I went in there and I cleaned out all the sand that had fallen in. It had a good clear shot straight down in, but it just didn't seem to go through. Now, I'm not abandoning this project. What I'm going to do for the time being is I'm going to start experimenting, doing some research and development. But that, of course, takes time, effort, and money, which at the moment I don't have much of. Coming in November, I'm going to have a personal update on some things that have been changing. I just haven't been cleared yet, so as soon as that happens, I'll have an update for everybody on what's been going on around here. But you got to admit, you got to at least give me 1 gold star for this one, for thinking outside the case. I'm trying to bring some new methods, some new techniques, trying to bring something new to the table no one else has ever done before. And so I'm going to go with my original plan and go with the regular case, a mini ITX case, a small one. I was thinking of one of those ones from Silverstone, not the Raven, the other variant, the more simpler one, and then just mod the living crap out of it. You know, cut windows, put LEDs, and all kinds of cool stuff inside of it. But what I want to know is, let's get a discussion started down below. Let me know what you guys think of what case would be best for it. Maybe we could still do a custom one, but what I would have to do is I would have to get aluminum panels, and then I could bolt them together. You know, I could use some Allen keys and some drilling and tapping, and we could use a CNC machine. You know, cut out the rear I/O, the front button, and all that stuff. But basically what I'm looking for is a small case, very small, and I need to have one expansion slot for the network card. Whether it's a small case with a 90-degree, you know, expansion riser. I'm sorry, PCIe riser. Always mute your phone when you're recording. That's annoying. But let me know what you guys think. That's basically what I'm looking for a case, and then we're gonna mod the crap out of it. So I guess it's gonna end it up for part 2. So I guess we're going to have part 3 and a part 4. So stay tuned. Let me know what you guys think for a case. Next weekend I'll probably go pick one up at Micro Center just to make things quicker. I know it's a little bit more of a premium, but then again, if you think cost of shipping and all that stuff. So let me know what you guys think again, and we'll see you next week. Then out.